Hey guys, today we're going to mod Sega's last and truly great video game system, the Sega Dreamcast. Stay tuned. Yes, it's the Sega Dreamcast. So what exactly are we going to do today? We're going to do two things to this. We're going to take the optical drive out, the thing that plays the games, the discs, and we're going to replace that with something called the GDEMU, which is an optical drive emulator. And basically that's where you put ROMs or backup games onto a formatted full SD card, and then this system will be able to play ROMs right off this card. Now with that, we are also going to replace the power supply because the power supply is going to put out too much heat, the original one. So we're going to put in something with a little bit less power because now we don't need it. All right, let's jump into it. Okay, so here we are with my Dreamcast, recently purchased earlier this year. It is the version that we want. You can tell by on the back there is a 1. Okay, I don't know if this is coming through on there, but if there is a 1 on here, that is what you want, version 1. Otherwise, it is not compatible with the GDEMU. Okay, so now we're going to take this apart. I'm a little nervous here, but that's okay. We're gonna have to take the modem off to get to some of the screws, and I've never taken the modem off. Oh, that was easy enough. One of the screws right there. Nice. So there you go. So what do we got here? Okay, so the main thing we are replacing is, well, basically everything. We're going to replace the disk drive, which is right here, which plugs in right underneath, and we're also replacing the power supply, which is right here and plugs in right down here and here. And here, and here, and here. Okay, so I believe there are only 3 screws for the disk drive, and that's what we're gonna take apart first. All right, so just gonna lift this up. There you go. Now I'm gonna keep this in a safe spot in case I ever want to take it back, and it's super easy to put this back in. As you can see, it just plugs in straight here, and that's where the GDEMU is going to go, right here. So not a big deal. So now we're going to take out the power supply, and in case you guys are wondering why we're taking out the power supply here, is very simple, because this power supply and the whole unit was designed to power basically an optical drive, which is going to take more energy, more power than it would be to power the GDEMU. And as a result, you're going to end up having extra heat in the system. And a lot of times, supposedly, from everything I've read and seen, is that there is a little bit of a overheating issue that you come into contact with here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this out. We're going to also keep that. We're going to keep all the original parts. We're going to pack them up, put them away. And basically what we're going to do is just replace this with something smaller that's going to generate less heat. So, all right. And now there are 2 screws, one right here and here. And we're going to take those off right now. Or later. Why would you do it later? We'll do it right now. I gotta be honest with you, I'm nervous. I'm hoping I really don't mess this thing up. I'm a little shaky here. So I hope I'm getting good shots here, but I'm also nervous that I'm gonna look. Hoping that I don't mess this up, but this is, from everything I've seen, and I don't want to talk too soon here, because I have not seen that what I've done is going to work. But if I'm at the point where I'm willing to try something out, especially technically, you know it's got to have some sort of ease to it. Okay, so now this power supply plugs in here, and with those 2 screws off, we're just going to pop it right out. Make sure I don't want to put, oh, there we go. I don't want to put too much pressure on either side because you don't want to break it. And there you go. Very nice. I guess. I don't know. Is that nice for a power pack? Okay. So now we got this all stripped down. We're gonna take out this plastic piece because we no longer need that, but we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it. Oh yeah. All right, so here comes the fun part. I'm gonna put the new power supply in. And that includes this and another cord, which I did not bring over with me here. Hold on, I gotta go get the packing for it. Okay, we're back. So we have something called the DreamPSU. Very nice. And it comes with a cord. This is where the power cord and a nice 3D printer to printed, I don't know, part that you put on the back of your system where the plug is to put the power brick. So, all right. So, this plugs in here. I believe that is it. Oop, there we go. Now that is all the way down. We're gonna put one of the screws in, just one, right there. I mean, it's pretty sturdy without it, but I mean, there's a spot for it. Might as well do it. Why don't you just do it? You should do it. Get to the chopper. All right, there you go. This is going to plug into right here.
that will go right over here. Actually, we'll put that in a minute. And then this, which is the power where the motherboard goes underneath. Is that right? Is that right? Let me see. No. Which way does this go? Yeah. There we go. Boom. Actually, that's it for the power mod. Super easy. I mean, geez. I think they might have made this me-proof. So next thing we want to do is we're going to put the GDEMU in. And it comes, there's a whole bunch of 3D printed tabs that you could put in here to kind of make it sit in there better. A lot of these GDEMUs, or GDEMUs I should say, I never know if I'm saying it right. I'm always saying it wrong. Come with 3D printed feet that you could put on the bottom of the board. Very simple. It looks like there's already something right here. So if I'm not mistaken, the board sits like this. Okay. All we're gonna do is clip these in. I wanna say, let's clip in through the bottom, right? Yeah. There you go. Straight up. There you go. Very smooth. Now, all we have to do is take this end, this plug right here, and plug it in to right here. Bam. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. Now, I am using the version 5.15b, and obviously this is a clone. Trying to actually get the real one, which is $400. This was not $400. This was, I believe, around $60. And it's actually in stock. The main one, the real one, is never in stock. I can never find it. It's always out of stock. But now we're just going to set up the power supply cord here, and we'll start putting everything back together. There we go. Put the modem back on. And that's it. So you can see inside there, and this is where the SD card's gonna go. And now we're gonna go over and we're gonna check out what it takes to put the SD card together and put your games on it. It's not really difficult. Using the ScanDisk Extreme Pro. It's something that I use in my camera, and I believe it should be compatible with the GDEMU. So let's go over to the computer and see how you set up your card and put your games on there.
So now you have your SD card. It's plugged into your computer. Now what do you do? Well, first off, you're going to want to format it FAT32. And unfortunately, if you have a card, I think over 64 gigabytes, Windows will not format that for you, at least FAT32. You're going to have to get a separate formatter software, and there's a ton of them online. Just Google that. You'll find one. And once you do that, then you're going to have to go and download the GDEMU, which is pretty much the interface that you're going to have when you get on the card to choose your games. And that's going to be in the link in the description below. So now that you've downloaded the software, you're going to extract it, unzip it, and there will be 3 files. There will be a README file, a folder that's 01, and a GDEMU like configuration file. You're going to want to take everything except the README file. You don't need the README file, and you're going to drag that over to your SD card. Now comes putting the games on the card. And this is a little bit more than just drag and click. So you already have a folder on your card that's 01, and that's where the menu is going to be. So your game's going to actually start in 02. And each game has to go in its separate folder, and each of them have to be, 04, 03, 02, and you'll just drag all the files for that game and put them in that folder. Now there are several different game formats that you can have. And the 2 most common ones that are used are GDI or CDI. Now, I like to use GDI because it seems like the compatibility is a little bit better with the GDEMU, but it is a larger file. The CDI is a smaller file, but from what I've read and seen, it seems to be a little bit less compatibility. There seems to be a little bit more of a problem with those games. All right, so everything looks like it's running good and like it should. Just to let you know, my game capture card did not like the output of the Dreamcast. It was like, no, it wasn't having it. I tried a couple different setups. I could get a picture, but no sound, and then no picture. And finally, I was just like, you know what? I'll just put my camera in front of the TV. You're not going to get, the most fairest representation of what I'm getting, but you'll get an idea, just enough to see how this is working. So here you see we have a list of games that I have installed on the card. You see also too that some of the ROMs actually have image artwork there that shows up on the side, which is really neat. I will say though, one of the things is you're going to want to break your collection up into multiple cards, because if you put too many on here, I found that it takes a long time for it to load the list of games, and just breaking them into smaller cards is probably the way to go. So there it is, guys. What'd you think? I gotta be honest with you. I'm really happy how this whole thing turned out. I'm shocked and really satisfied with myself here. I'm so happy. I mean, I can't believe that I got this thing to work, that it really ended up working. So some of the things that you need to know. Like I said before, you're going to want to split the ROMs up onto several different cards. I'm not sure how many. I'm doing about 50 on each card, and that seems to be good enough. And the card that I was using originally that I had bought for my camera, it was a little bit an overkill. You're not going to have to use a high-end card on this. I would use a name brand just to make sure it does work, but as far as how well it works, you're not going to have to go with the top of the line to get it to work well. But that being said, if you're interested in playing, Dreamcast games nowadays, this is a very excellent option to look into, and especially seeing that Dreamcast games are pretty expensive out there right now. All right, guys, so there it is. I hope you really liked this video. I know I enjoyed making this video and enjoyed it even more that everything actually ended up working. I'm so proud of myself. But if you did like this video, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe already. All right, guys, until next time, goodbye.